Merhaba, Kurşun Pas'a hoş geldiniz. Bugün özel bir konuğumuz var. Yine voleybol konuşacağız. Çok önemli bir isim bugün bizimle birlikte. Sayın Giovanni Guidetti, Vakıfbank Koçu. Hoş geldiniz.
Hoş bulduk. Merhaba.
How are you? How is life going? Let's start that way. How was your wife? How was the autumn going for you?
Good, good. Thank you very much. Everything is doing well. My wife is very busy. She's playing in, Barry's playing in IBB, so every day she go from Baghdad to JBG. That I was one time with my daughter, and when we were half road, she told me, "Baba, I understand why Mama is always late at home because it's very, very fun." And Alison is doing well. She's 8 years, and she like every kind of sport except volleyball. But I have to accept, and like Bar always, advise me, don't push her, don't push her, don't push her. So I try to not push her. Just sometimes try a little bit, but she like to come to the gym. She like to come Vakıfbank training. And also when she comes to the gym, I don't bring her often, but just a few times when we have a very individual training that she can stay a little bit alone. In the volleyball gym, she's able to manage to spend 2 hours without touching a volleyball ball.
Wow.
It's really very, very interesting. She play with the cone, she play with the obstacle, she play with the casa, she play with everything, but still she don't try to play. But I mean, she's young. Many players, even Bar, start 12 years old. So let's see. Great. But important that she likes sport.
Yeah, of course, of course. So there's a lot of expectations when it comes to our children, right? Like we expect them to grow like good persons, like
this
successful.
Is the most important. Yes, it's most important that she have friends, that the friends like to spend time with her, and that she makes sport. Because I believe nowadays sport and together with the music and the art are the 3 way at least they are out of their devices, the kids. So if they make sport, they cannot watch iPad. If they play a music instrument, they cannot play with the phone. If they paint, they can enjoy the life without electronic device that I'm not against, but more we delay the time, I think better is.
Yeah, so it's like you have some expectations from a child and it turns something else and you learn to manage those expectations, right? So my first question to you is about that actually, because, like if you have a team that is really small and you're coaching like a very small team, and if you do just one small part of success, then it's great. But if you win 73 matches in a row and be back-to-back champions, then the expectations became very, very high. So now all of the fans in the volleyball world expects Vakıfbank to be really successful, and I know that you aim for it. But how is it for you to manage those expectations from you?
Yeah, for me, I have to say that probably I well trained about that, so because of my age, because of many years that I'm doing that, I'm very okay with that. The most difficult part, and the most challenging part of my job is try to take off as much as I can the pressure from the player, especially from the young player. So if you see Vakıfbank 1 month and a half ago, and you see Vakıfbank now, we are playing very, very different, but not that in this 1 month and a half we changed, I don't know what, inside our training. Just the player learn to take off some expectation, take off some pressure, because when they come to Vakıfbank, and they come in the gym and they start to see all this trophy and they know the name and they dream before about come to Vakıfbank, they really play with a lot of pressure. They don't play free. That's why the first part of the season we generally struggling, especially the young player. And so my job is really this one. My job is really make them focus on the process. So not focus on the expectation, not focus on our goal, just focus on the process. So you are here to become a better player, and if you become a better player, we will become a better team, a stronger team. And this is the main part of the job, and this is difficult. For me, it's okay. For me, the expectation is what I have to talk with my boss, because they want to win every time. They expect to win every time. Of course, they invest a lot of money, they put a lot of energy in the club. So they want to win, and I'm very good with that, But also with that, with the board of the club, to explain that there are moments to win for sure, moments to build, to win next. Okay, so these are the 2 phases of a big club, because the bad clubs, they have moment of winning, moment of losing, moment of winning, moment of losing, losing, a few winning. The good club, the great club, they have moment of winning and moment of building. Moment of winning and moment of building. You know, so right now we are in a moment of building. That means that we are preparing to win again. Can be this year, maybe difficult, can be next year, you know, but we are not destroying, you know, but rebuilding, you know, reborning. I like always to give name to our season, you know, especially at the beginning of the season, to make the player understand where we are, where we want to be, you know. And so this year the title was The Reborn, The Reconstruction. Okay, so we wanted to make, because we have a lot of new players, 7. Probably was the biggest, you know, the biggest newcomer in the history of Wacky, you know, 7 on 14. They're really a lot, you know. So the idea was, okay, we want to build something new, but using the same construction, the same fundamental that made Wacky what is Wacky, you know. So the base is the same, but of course the house will be different. So we destroy the old house, we kept the strong fundamental, and we are trying now to rebuild the new house. So this is the moment where we are, and the expectation is still very high, you know, not because you are like this and the player expect that Wacky can lose 10 matches in a season, okay? No, nobody expects that, and we don't want that. But we need also to understand and to accept that has to be a moment of not winning if you are building for the future. And this is pretty much where we are now.
So recently you won like a very difficult game against Fenerbahçe. You know, they were the best team starting off this season, like maybe coming from the last season. They were amazing, and then the season they started really well, and they were the team to beat. And you played a really good match with like 5 sets thriller, and you managed to win that game, which is like really amazing. Do you think this victory will inspire the roster for what's next for this season?
I think that was very important. I mean, Fenerbahçe is still the favorite in Turkey, no question, you know, because they have big, you know, big roster, and you know, basically they can play with 4 foreigners every time, you know, because Vargas she make a huge difference. So they still the favorite, in my opinion, in Turkey, and without any doubt, and they can be also one of the favorite teams to win the Champions League for sure. And we had the luck to play against them without Vargas, you know, that changed a lot. They don't change everything, because still a great team, still Stesiak, a very, very strong diagonal, you know, because people sometimes forget that who is Stesiak, you know, she's still number 5 or 6 in the world in her position, you know. So, but of course, in front, behind Vargas, you know, sometimes, you know, she looks smaller, but Stesiak still a very strong diagonal, and Fenerbahçe roster is amazing. We also have some absence, you know, because of course Cansu still not able to play, unfortunately. I hope that in the next days she will have a big step of improvement about her health, so we are very optimistic, but she's still not able to play. We have a couple other injuries, but it was important, you know, was important to win against Fenerbahçe. Also last year we lost against Fenerbahçe without Vargas, you know, we lost against Fenerbahçe with Stesiak, and was important not for the victory, you know, because for me, I mean, victory are important, but, you know, it's important to win at the end. But it's important to see how much we grow from Galatasaray match till now. You know, this what for me was the most important part. That's what I asked to the player at the beginning of the match. You know, I said, I mean, I don't care to win or to lose. I just care to fight. I just care to see a team that, you know, is not afraid, is not intimidated, is not worried from the opponent. And I want to see that we are keeping our growing, you know, our growing path. And that's what I saw. Then winning or losing tiebreak, yeah, of course, it's important, it's nice, it's, you know, you finish with a smile. But, you know, I would have smiled anyway if I lose 3-2, but I still see the team improving. And this was very good.
So even if you're a favorite team, you cannot win all the games, except your Vakıfbank and you win 73 games in a row. But still, I mean, it's an outlier. Like, you don't do this every day. You don't have this every day. But there are some games that are like really important. You mentioned that it was important to fight at Fenerbahçe game, but in my opinion, like watching your team for years, some games, like even if the team is going like modest sometimes, but some target games, you manage to prepare your team so well that you can bring out the best of like every player. Like maybe every player cannot like play their best at every game, but maybe at some particular games they can do a little bit more. So how do you achieve that? How can you bring the best like out of every player in those type of very important games?
I mean, if I know the exact answer about your question, you know, I think I would not lose any game in my career. So I don't think I have an exact answer about that. But I can say, you know, that when it's kind of culture, you know. So and this culture comes probably from 17 years of work, 17 years of legacy of amazing player, 17 years that Vakibank every 4 or 5 years, you know, have a great captain, you know, 70 years of hard work. But, you know, you start to feel in the gym, you know, you start to feel in the atmosphere, in the locker room, in the fitness, you know, before this kind of match that you mentioned, that there is something different in the air, you know. It's like, you know, probably everybody, you know, from the worker that change, you know, the lighting in the gym to the other, you know, to the masseur, to the physio, to the athletic trainer, you know, we are living, you know, like our adrenaline is over the limit, and we are just living and thinking for that match, for that match, for the match. And fortunately, you know, I can give you many examples, you know. I remember, I don't know, one of those that was one of the greatest, I believe, we lost one time. We lost a quarterfinal of Champions League in Russia, 3-1, you know, and we no 3-2. So, you know, if we don't win the second match, we are out of the Champions League. And I remember that I came back in the gym, and we showed to the team the incredible comeback that Juventus with Ronaldo made against I don't know which kind of team. I mean, they had to win 3 or 4 goal difference, and they managed. You know, the Ronaldo made 3 or 4, and they really make an incredible thing because, you know, in soccer, if you have to win with 3 goal differences, it's a huge thing. And I showed to them this, and I remember that all players start to make like this, you are Ronaldo, you are Ronaldo, you know? And then, I mean, we start to work all this week with this idea, you know, that we can do, and we did it, you know? And recently, the golden set we won against Fenerbahçe, you know, in Champions League, that's also here, nobody probably would have bet, you know, 1 lira, you know, because, you know, we lost 3-0, and then we have to win golden set, but we knew it, that we can do it. You know, we had the self-confidence, you know, the knowledge that we can do it. And this comes from the preparation, because in that week, before this kind of match, you know, the topic was just, we will make it, we will make it. Doesn't matter if we lose 3-0, then we have a goal set, we will make it. We have to train. And this is something magic that happened in this moment, you know. It's kind that you feel before, because the energy that there is in the gym is different, you know. And I don't know how much is me, how much is the team, how much is the staff, you know, how much is this culture, but it's really coming. And, you know, I have a lot of this example, you know, but it's really coming. Yeah, another very famous when we lost we lost semi-final of playoff of Turkish League against Galatasaray. And that was bad. We have some injury, but it was bad. I mean, we should have won. You know, we won. We were the first in the regular season. And 1 week later, we have to win. We have to play the Final Four in Treviso of Champions League, you know, after being out of the playoff of Turkish League. You know? But this week, okay, was the best week of training of that team. That was the Kimberly Hill and you know, the Kimberly Hill and Goes the team. You know, I remember these 2 main characters in this time, you know. And this team managed to do it, you know, because they work so good, so hard, so strong in that week. And we arrive in Treviso that we we play so bad against Galatasaray, but we will win the next. You know, so in one part of our manifesto, because we have one manifesto in VakiBank that I like a lot, you know, I wrote one morning very early after one terrible training, so I said, I wanted to write what is important for us. The last part, the number 14 rule of VakiBank is that we want to be the best team in the world to learn from a loss. You know, and so normally, you know, and that's why probably one of the reasons come our strength, you know, because never a loss put us down. You know, a loss is always okay, great. You know, we lose because of that, and that. Now we know what we have to do to win. Now we know what we have to work to be better. And we put a lot of energy in that, so.
So while you're speaking, you're mentioning about the characters in the team, like the leadership, the characters with leadership attitudes. So how important is it for you to have that like leader characters in the team that will lead and inspire?
It's so important. I think that the captain and the choice of the captain, you know, is very important part in the building of the team. Because I like to read also about other sport and, you know, other great team, and very, very rare you find an amazing team with a weak captain or an amazing team with a silent captain. I mean, if silent but leader can be, like, for example, not about captain, like coaches, you know, like Ancelotti. He's a great coach, he's a great leader, but he's very calm, you know, they are calling him the calm leader, you know, so, and can also be for a captain. But I mean, you need a strong leader, and the coach himself is not enough. The staff himself is not enough, because at the end, we are not inside the field. We are very close. We can help or destroy very easily, because we are very close, but we are not inside the court. So you need to have in the court somebody strong, and you need to have in the court somebody that is pushing the team, even when you have, you know, something else in your mind. Because sometimes the coach, you know, you are so focused to think what you can do to change the bad moment, but the team still playing. Okay, I can give you this example, last match against Fenerbahçe. Okay, I was really happy to see the behavior of Zehra, that she's still a very young captain, and she's captain from 2 months, you know, but she's learning the job very well, and you know, and we start the fourth set, and I was really thinking what I can do to change, because we lost the third set that we should have won, because we were 14-7 for us, you know, and we lost this set. I said, okay, why? What happened? Maybe I can change this. Okay, maybe I have this player in the back that can help. So while the coach is thinking about that, you know, and of course, the energy is less that I can give to the team, because I'm very focused on thinking what I have to do. But the match is going. And I remember that in this moment, you know, while I was thinking what to do, to have continuously listened the voice of Zehra shouting, Zehra that come to me every time, come on, Joe, we can make it, you know. So that is what you need. That's what you need from a captain. And this is what the point of the iceberg, okay? But the main part of the captain job is what the people don't see. It's the part of the part of the iceberg that don't see. That is the weekly work. You know, that's why in the history of VakiBank, you know, I always have the captain that have 2 great characteristics. That one, they have to be the best in the gym in terms of pushing. So I can accept everything from a captain, but not that is even 1 second tembel. You know, so captain cannot even accept to be 1 second tembel, because they have to be always an example for the other. So if the captain don't go for a ball, everybody is allowed to don't go for a ball. You know, so the captain has to be the greatest example of hard working, and the captain has to be the greatest example of caring about other people. You know, so these are the 2 main characteristics that I need in a captain, and there have amazing example before her, where I'm sure, because she's very clever, that she learned from all of them. You know, Gosde, Melis, Gabi, you know, it's 3 incredible captains, all 3 with 3 different characteristics. Probably Gabi and Gosde more similar, Melis in a different way, but all 3 great captains. And I think Zehra is clever enough and mature enough that she understood, you know, what she has to do. And of course, it's a process, you know, and I remember that, I mean, I think part of my job is also to teach right now to Zehra how to be a good captain. Like I try to teach to Gabi, to Melissa and to Gose how to become a good captain. But I'm very happy to see that Zehra is willing to learn, is willing to be great captain. And, you know, and she's a very good example during the week. So I can tell you that she has a lot of excuse, you know, in her body, you know, that she can take a lot of rest many times, but she never do. You know, we have to stop her many times. And this is what you want from a leader in the team.
Yeah. So you mentioned the restructuring period. So you have many new players. What was the roster strategy building in this season?
I think that we need to find, you know, we wanted to find this 30-point player, you know, because unfortunately or fortunately, I mean, volleyball is depending from this, I call the 30-point player, you know, so every great team have this 30-point player. That is Italy with the Gonu, or, you know, Fenerbahçe with Vargas, or Conegliano with Belak, or, you know, Exagi with Bosco, with Ticha, you know. So the greatest team in women volleyball, they are characterized from this person. You know, in men, it's changing. In men, there is not anymore this one-man show. You know, in the women team, still this great player, you know, we can say there are 4, okay, that are doing that. So we want to create this because we were not able to have one of them in this season, you know. So first of all, we try to take a very powerful attacker like Kira Van Rijk, that she have no less, zero, she don't have any less power than all the one that I mentioned to you before. Maybe she missed couple centimeters compared to this 4-name attack, but I believe she has the potential and she's very clever and she wants to work hard to become very, very close to them. And then we try to take this 30 point probably from another position, you know, and we saw last year, really, I remember this, in October, you know, actually I didn't even watch, you know, my staff showed to me one match of Murat Pasha.
Yeah.
And I really said, who is this girl? I mean, then I call everybody, say, hey, this is the girl that we need. You know, this is the girl that we need this year because she remembered me, Ju Ting, when Ju Ting came to Vacuum. You know, same body, same characteristics, same kind of approach, same, you know, attack. And so we were lucky that she wanted to come to us. And so, you know, that was the main idea. So we need to have people that make point. Then we did everything to keep Derya with us because you cannot win in Turkey if you don't have a good Turkish player. And so I think Derya is the best Turkish attacker in position 4. Of course, she has to learn. She's still very young. She needs to improve, you know, but she's an extraordinary attacker. You know, so we knew that probably our team this year will suffer a little bit in the back row. That's why I push so much my club to have Caterina Bosetti, because we need, you know, we lost Gabi. You know, losing Gabi is not like, you know, losing a cup of coffee, you know, so we lose something very,
right.
very, very rare and special, you know, so it's very difficult to, you know, we need one episode only for Gabi, so we lose her, and so not easy to replay, but, you know, Caterina was for me, you know, the best we can have after Gabi, because she's so good in reception, so good in defense, you know, and she's helping the team a lot, so we are really happy. So the changing were a lot, you know, and so last year we tried to a second setter foreigner, but it's, you know, not easy, you know, so we took Sla, that she's very ready and she's good and she's doing amazing now, that basically she's leading the team, because Jansu she was not able to do nothing until now, and Sla is keeping the level very well. We wanted, you know, more centimeter in our middle. That's why we took Denise. And I think, you know, the team that is, the structure of the team is pretty good, you know, so we are very tall. And of course, when you are very tall, means that you will struggle when the ball is low. You know, this is part of all. We should be good when the ball is high, and we will struggle a little bit when the ball is low, but I believe that we are really building a very strong squad. Then we will be ready this year, I'm not sure. Okay, we will be ready next year with maybe one or two small changing. Then I can tell you yes. This is how it should be. Because after a reconstruction, so a big change, then it will be enough one or two small change to reach the top. So that is the plan.
Yeah. So in this show, usually we're three people, like me as a moderator, and there are two ex-volleyball players, like Özlem Özçelik and Gülden Kayalar. I mean, you would know them if you are a little bit into volleyball at some point.
I play against them.
Of course, yeah.
I play against them.
Yeah.
Amazing player.
And Gülden always says that she is very sad about not working with you while she was in her professional career, because she says that you always add value to any player that you work with. So in this sense, how do you feel like when a player comes to you like as a young, like radiant player and then goes out or stays with you as like this star?
This is, first of all, I thank Gülden for the compliment, because from one great leader and person, because everybody, I never coach her, but I never listened one bad word about her. Everybody spoke amazing about her. So also I'm sad I couldn't have the chance to work with her. But this is for me the biggest pressure, And so everybody talked to me, you need to win, you need to win, you need to win. Okay, I care, but I don't care, because winning is something that you cannot control. Maybe you play amazing, but the other team is very strong and play amazing, and they have, one service that touch the net and fall down, okay, and you lose. And this is, you cannot control that. But if the player don't become better, then it's my fault. If the player don't improve, then it's my fault, okay? If the player don't develop, then means we work bad. That where, inside myself, I put the most of the pressure, because I cannot accept that the player leave Vakibank at the same level like she arrived to Vakibank, or after 2-3 months, she the same level like 2-3 months before. No, a player has to improve. A player has to grow. That's why I try to have the best staff around me that I can, because it's so important, the staff is the team that is coaching the team, and I cannot have energy and time the same time for 14 players, but 14 players need the full attention and the full concentration of the coach, and if I cannot give to you now, I need to have somebody that I trust under 10% that give to this player the same value that I would give, That's why in Vakibank, really, I care so much about the staff, and I believe we have really an amazing staff, and this is very important. Medical, physical, and technical, so I think we try to be very strong there. And again, this is, this is the nicest of my job, I believe. This gives to me much more, much more satisfaction that one cup or one gold medal, to see that player come to Vakibank good, yes, but then leave to Vakibank and she's the best in the world, Take Loneka Zloty, long time ago. Take even Gozde, Gozde is one example that I do every time. I try every time to put her in the bench, but I was not able, I took always foreigner, but she was fighting against the foreigner. She became one of the best in the world. Take even Gabi, when she arrived in Vakibank, she was not the Gabi that left Vakibank. Bella Hack, when she arrived, she was not, and so on. So I hope that many other players do the same, and I'm really proud about that. I'm pretty proud that the player, at the end, the player they choose to come to Vakibank, because when with this kind of top-level player, they can go wherever they want, So when they choose to come to Vakibank, because they want to work hard and they want to improve.
So you're mentioning about all of these stars that you worked with. I mean, if there was a chance for you, like active or not, to bring back any player from before, who would it be?
Oh, impossible. Yeah, I mean, in this conversation, I already mentioned how many, It's impossible. I think that the job of a great club, you know, the job of a great club is to keep a very high standard changing the player. You know, because you cannot have Ronaldo forever. You cannot have Messi forever. Will arrive a moment that you lose Ronaldo, you lose Messi. And the job of a great sport club is to be successful whatever happens. You know, doesn't mean to win always, like we talked before. You will have some rebuild moment, but to be successful, to stay at the top, whatever happens. You know, so this I think is the power of Wakibank. You know, and I thanks, you know, my club and my board because they gave me this chance every time. You know, giving me a lot of great players, but name one will take a lot of credit to many others that were as good or even better as well, you know. So we have really a lot. But the key of Wakibank was always to find the new star to replace the old star, the new star to replace old star. And this is what makes, you know, our club very strong.
And also sustainable, right? Anything, but for maybe sports clubs, even more important because like you have Messi, if you lose him, then you're going to be over. But actually building something sustainable is something really important. And I think the responsibility goes to everyone that works in a club, not just one coach, not just one player.
Very true.
Right?
Very true. I mean, this is, for me, it's the magic, you know. But people ask me, how you are not bored after 17 years, 6 Champions League, and I don't know, Turkish Cup. I know why. Why I am bored? Because, I mean, I would have bored if I do the same job, same routine with the same people for 17 years. Probably yes. You know, because there arrive one moment that, you know, if me and you, we start to work together and, you know, you are my player, I have one moment that you already know before what I will tell you, you know, after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. You know, so of course, but we are changing and create this sustainability, create this success that stay, you know, in the years is challenging, you know, because more you are at the top, you know, more the people want to be better with you. With the very strong system of culture and values, you know, and with a good strategy, you know, then you can be always there. And I think the greatest thing of Wakibank is mainly this, you know. So, and I think also the trust that Wakibank gave to me is a big sign also of that, you know, because many other clubs, this season was bad, we changed the coach. This season was good, okay, 2 years to the coach. No, he lost, we fire him. How many unsuccessful clubs you see like this, you know? The main example we have in soccer, in volleyball, you know, in Italy. I mean, I don't want to make names. They changed one amazing coach after 2 matches, won 3-0, 3-0. You know, this coach won 2 matches, 3-0, 3-0. He has a very big name, you know, world champion, gold medalist. They change it. I mean, how can you build something, you know, with this kind of mentality? So this is also why, you know, a great club needs great captain, great coach, great staff, great player, but especially, you know, a great management at the top.
When you walked into Vakıfbank, you always mention in your interviews that it was like a very small gym, but now you have your own stadium. Okay, I know that now that you mention, it's not just like the infrastructure, but actually like infrastructure includes like these type of culture that you say, not just like buildings. So it means a lot more than that. So recently, Daniele Santarelli said that he said like Vakıfbank was the dream that we wanted to achieve in Conegliano. And he also says that, like, okay, we built our own name with our own DNA, but you know, Vakıfbank was always there to guide us to be the club that we wanted to achieve. How do you feel now that you're like one of the examples to the world?
I mean, first of all, to have a compliment from a great coach like Daniele, you know, it means a lot for me and for us. And I think that Conegliano is doing pretty well in this, you know. I mean, first of all, they are good to, you know, to take, you know, also the player, you know, the good player, you know. So Belak, you know, from Vakıfbank go to there, you know, before Robin from Vakıfbank go to there, and then Gabi from Vakıfbank go to there, you know, Kimberly from Vakıfbank go to there, you know. So and they are choosing good, You know, they're not choosing bad. So they're choosing the right player in the right moment, you know, because you have to be good like a club also to understand there is one moment that you can never take Gabi from Vaki, but maybe there is one moment you have a small chance and they immediately find this moment, this chance. So that means that for sure Conegliano is also working very well in that and is doing amazing job, you know. Actually, I mean, I think that they're doing even, I don't want to say better or worse, but they have, I mean, in Turkey was always very, very, very difficult for Vakıbank. I don't remember one easy year, you know, because always, you know, we have very, very strong opponent, you know. I mean, Exagi and Fener were always there. I remember, you know, some victory against, I mean, Fenerbahce with Kim Jong and Sokolova, you know, I mean, it's really Ronaldo and Messi together in this time, you know, or Exacibre with Boskovic, Larsson, Kosheleva, you know, so we are talking about the best of the best of the best, you know, and that were the competitor of Vakıbank, you know, so we always had to win against very strong competitor. Conegliano looks like that their competitor is just outside Italy. You know, in Italy, they don't have any competitor. They are...
Vero, maybe, no?
Who?
Vero
Volley.
Is it?
They could, but, I mean, still big difference. On the paper, still big difference. Then, of course, Milano probably is the strongest team this year in Italy, or even if Novara is doing very, very well, but I don't think they have the power of the other two clubs. Milano can, but I think, you know, that Conegliano is still much stronger. You know, you will never say a coach that say, pick one team, will pick Milano instead of Conegliano. Every coach will pick the roster of Conegliano. So they are doing very well, but of course, in Europe, to win in Europe, you have to, you know, it's more difficult for everybody, you know. That's why this 6 Champions League of Vakıbank is something that I still don't understand now how we did, you know, because this is very, very, very complicated, you know. And I wish to Conegliano to achieve that because, I mean, Daniele is a great coach, the club is a great club, they are working very well also, investing in the young talent, investing in the young player. Now they found a new opposite, young Italian, very, very powerful, that she will become probably the new Italian star, but she needs 2-3 years, she's very young, but, you know, they pick this right young player, so they are very good also in that, in building young players. So that was a great club should do. That's what in Vakıbank, you know, we try to do always.
There are a lot of good and great Italian coaches. Like they work in like Italy also, they work in Turkey also. Like Fenerbahçe has Marco Fenoglio now. Last year they had Lavarini. There's also like Daniele Santarelli, of course. So do you have like, how is your relationship to other Italian coaches? Is there like a special network type of thing or not?
I mean, well, I have to say that I'm pretty good. You know, I'm pretty good with all of them. With some of them I'm more close. You know, for example, with Stefano Lavarini, he was my assistant coach, so we are more close. With Marco Fenoglio, I mean, we are basically the same age, and we were fighting, but really fighting. I mean, not fighting, almost, you know, like this. In couple matches like 20 years ago in Italy, and we still there, you know, like last time. But there is a lot of respect, of course, so we don't fight physically anymore. And Daniele, I mean, when I took Serbia and Daniele took Turkey, you know, we have good relation that we do one FaceTime of 1 hour, 30 minutes to share ideas and to share, you know, something that can help each other. You know, one of my best is Massimo Barbolini. You know, with Velasco, he was the one that picked me. You know, said, Giovanni, come in national team because, you know, you are young. I talk about 20 years ago, maybe more, maybe 25. You know, come here and pick. So I still have a lot of relation with many of them. So,
but Velasco, like you mentioned, about 25 years, he was the national team coach, but he is still now the national team head coach and won the Olympic gold medal. So, like, how do you feel?
Velasco is. If you tell me, okay, Giovanni, I have one person that I have to interview and then stop my career, I said, call Velasco. Make a 3-hour show because one will not be enough. But the ability that he has to explain anything, anything has no equality. You know, we all learn a lot from him. We all learn how to coach from him. We are all listen when he talk. You know, we are listening him and really writing continuously. He came in Vakıbank last year. no, 2 years ago. He stayed in Vakibank 3-4 days in the year that we had Paula with us. And, you know, we watched training and was telling, I like that, I don't like this, why you do that instead of this is good, you know, and amazing conversation. And it's still, you know, of course, maybe it does a little less than what he was doing before, but when he talks, the knowledge and the inspiration that he can give is, you know, he doesn't have an equal person that I met so far in my life, you know. So he can explain, you know, he can explain you why this cup instead of here should be here. And after he explains you this, you know, you will never have the cup here and one more time in your life, for sure, you know, because he will find the reason that has to stay there, and good reason, and logical, and scientific, and everything. So it's a great, it's one of the monsters of the volleyball world, you know, so if not the number one of ever, I mean, in the top 3 of ever in the history of volleyball, for sure.
So another powerhouse in volleyball is actually a little bit far in the USA. So they're forming a professional league. How do you think it will affect the outlook, volleyball outlook in the world?
Everybody, I think, have to pay a lot of attention about this, you know, because it depends from the sustainability of this league. Because, for example, many years ago, I can say 20, you know, I was called to coach a team that have to open the first professional league in America. It was called USPV, United States Professional Volleyball. I live in Chicago for 1 year. And in this year, my job was to coach the best player that were not playing in Europe and were out of college. And with this player, create the base for a professional league. But this professional league, I stayed just for that year. Then professional league start was only 4 cities. And after 2 years, you know, it finished. Right now, what I see is these 2 leagues, the League Pro 1 and this Love, you know, they look very well organized. They look very well constructed, you know, so they collect first all the money and they distribute the equal money to all the club. So all the players will have the same salary, or almost all the coaches will have the same salary, all the club, they have all the expenses covered. And they are, you know how is America, you know, so and they are building a lot of marketing and marketing and marketing. And it looks to me can become something very big, you know, like they can have this Love like our Sultan League and the Pro League 1 like our, you know, first league, you know, and looks like they can do something like that. And it can be dangerous for Europe, for sure. So I would say that if I am in the French league, in the German league, or even the Polish league, or I'm talking about women that I know the best, you know, these 3 leagues that are pretty good now, French league, German league, and Polish league in women, but I would be very scared because, you know, right now, you know, these 2 American leagues, they're taking from this leagues market. Of course, they are not able now, you know, to afford Boskovic or Vargas or Egonu or Ak or Gabi, you know, they are not ready yet to afford this name. That's why I believe that, you know, Turkish and Italy for a couple of years, they are safe. But if they grow and they start to have, you know, this, you know, and they start to have the budget to afford these big names, then I believe that, you know, all of these players want to try, for sure, also to play in America sometime. You know, they want to try, you know, to try the new NBA. It will be the first NBA of volleyball. You know, so I believe can be dangerous. But for now, I think Italy and Turkey are out because the market of Italy and Turkey is above the market of this American league. But in a couple of years, who knows what can happen. They can close, but don't looks like because the stadium are full. So even the quality of the matches, some matches is not good, but the stadium are full. So can close, but I don't believe so. Can stay like this, and that will be fine for Turkish and Italy, or they can grow. And they grow, then become complicated to find enough good players to keep the Turkish league and the Italian league at so high level like they are.
So Coach Gill recently moved to coaching men's team, and now women's head coach seat is like open, and in social media, a lot of people are thinking about you for that seat. It's a social media. So would you consider if there was an offer?
I'm not a social media guy, so I don't know. I can tell you that many of the players that I coach, you know, and I coach many American, and so they ask me, you know, can we propose you, can we make your name? We would like you to come. I said, of course. I mean, it's an amazing national team, it's an amazing country, and think about that. Let's say Daniele. So Daniele have to choose, you know, the best 18 player, okay, between 14 teams. Okay, so Daniele, the choice of Daniele, like the choice of Velasco, you know, so they have to choose the best 18 player between the 14 best team of Turkey. Okay, so how many players we are talking? Take off the foreigner, we talk about 100 players. I mean, I'm not great in mathematics, but yes, 14 teams, on every team have 14 players. Take off the foreigner, okay, then you'll have to choose the best 15 in 80 players, let's say. The coach of the United States have to create a team, so to choose the best 14, 18 player for the United States, for the best team of America, between 325 first league college team. So can you imagine the difference of the choice? So clearly before I had to choose the best between 300 top club, because the first division of college are 300 teams. And we have, I mean, we coach in Europe, have to choose between 14 teams. So the amount of player, you know, is incredible. That's why America, from when I'm doing this sport that is 25 years already, you know, America is always in the top 3 in every competition. I mean, has to be.
Almost every sport.
The number of women, yes, in every sport, basically, except soccer, because they don't like, you know, probably. But, you know.
But in women's soccer, they are.
Also, bravo, you're right. Women's soccer, they are top also there, you know. So the number of athletes they have, and the women is the best choice in America, you know. So if you are a good athlete, women, they push you to go volleyball. You know, that in men, they push you to go basketball, baseball, American football, you know, hockey. Maybe after come volleyball, you know. But in women, you have great body, you are a good athlete, go volleyball. So you have always the best of the best. So for sure, it's the bench that everybody will be happy to coach.
So we talked about sustainability, but one part of the sustainability is actually the diversity. You know, so in Turkey and also in globally, we don't see many women coaches, and we don't see also like many women players that want to become coaches. But in your staff, there's one woman coach. And why do you think this happens, and how do you think it can be like overcome? Then there will be more women coaches in the volleyball world.
This is a question that I receive many times, so I start to have my idea about answer. I think first is I would say historical and cultural. You know, so let's say that 90% of the coaches, men, okay, 90%, but probably 95, they, before to become a coach, they play the sport they are coaching. Some at top level, some at lower level, but you know, I play volleyball and coach volleyball. Somebody plays soccer and coach soccer, you know. But in 40 years ago, how many women were practicing sport? Not many. You know, 30 years ago, how many women were professional volleyball players? Not many, you know. So I think that, you know, like there were so many men playing volleyball and they become coach now, that because the men, because of, you know, history, they start, it's more years they're doing sport. Women start sport later, and then I think this process is just a matter of time, and there will be more and more women that become coach. I really strongly believe in woman coach for woman team. I really wanted to have so much, you know, a very good coach that is women in our team. That's why I choose, you know, Sanja Tomasevic in our roster, because I really believe that, you know, it's very important in a group of women to have a woman, you know, because at the end we are different, and it's normal, you know. So, and women can understand women much better, especially women like Sanya, that she already played Champions League, she already played professional, she already played America, she already coached 7 years in college, you know. She can understand very well, you know, the feeling, and she come to us with a great feedback, you know. So she's a great coach. That was the main part for me, and then she became a woman. And I see that this is happening more and more and more, you know, because if you see like 4 or 5 years ago, you see really 0 women in staff. Now, you know, you travel all around the world in the national teams, you see many women in the staff. American, Kirali have 2 women in the bench. And 3, because also the doctor, you know, in Olympic was a woman. And, you know, Turkey have one physio, women in the bench, and team manager. And in Serbia, I had Blagojevic, 1 assistant coach, women in the bench. You know, so it is starting. It's starting, you know, in the college, you know, in the pro league. I know for sure that 1 head coach is women. You know, in NBA, you see women coaches. So it's just a matter of time. And they are coming, and it's very important that they are coming too.
Yep. Another question I want to ask is about like Turkish volleyball and how it's like evolved to this point now that the volleyball players are like superstars, basically. Now, like, I mean, football is #1 sport in Turkey, as in like most of the places in the world. So, but volleyball, I think, climbed to #2 right now. Like all of the little girls, they love and idealize these players. And I mean, I've seen a couple of games where like girls were like going crazy, shouting, asking for autographs and photographs. It was like something that I haven't seen except for like any Justin Bieber concert 10 years ago, for example. It is amazing to see those young girls are taking these players as an idols. How do you think this affects like the volleyball world in general? Like as a coach, do you observe something different in this type of?
I think that, I mean, first of all, is really crazy, like you say, and from my eyes, it's beautiful to see. You know, I remember when I came to Turkey, I mean, we were playing in empty gyms most of the time, you know, and really I was wondering why they spend so much money and there are no spectators, you know. And to remember this time and to see that now, you know, Vakıbank go Ankara, and for Zehra'nın Sport, you know, that 2 years ago didn't even exist. So for Zehra'nın Sport and Vakıbank, there is the full stadium, you know, in Ankara. Is beautiful, and we cannot go out, you know. I put myself because, you know, even me, they are calling me so much, you know, and they have more time to the player, you know. But the player, they cannot go out from the gym if there is no police that creates space and one time says, stop, 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 you have to go home. This is amazing, you know, this is amazing. And it's so good, okay? I mean, without Justin Bieber is a great, you know, is a great also role model. I mean, he's a great artist, you know, but it's so good that the girls in this country, you know, they have role model, you know, Zehra, Cansu, Ande, you know, these are the role model of the young player, you know. So they have role model player that I know from when they are 14, 17, because I know, for example, Deria, Cansu, Zehra, from when they are 14, 15 years old, you know, they were coming in training in Dolmuş. You know, they will take it at Dolmuş, they come to training, they train hard, they go home, they make homework, they wake up early in the morning, go to school, come back, you know. And now, you know, I remember because last year I need to talk long, you know, I want to have a long conversation with Zehra. And I asked, okay, Zehra, but I don't want to have this conversation in the gym because, you know, it's always, look, we are in the gym, let's go for a coffee. And she told me, Giovanni, but see, if we go for a coffee, we cannot talk, you know, and it's true. And it's true, you know, you cannot, you know, Zehra cannot walk in the street. I mean, it's also, I'm sorry for them, you know, sometimes, because, but it's really, and I can see, you know, and then sometimes we finish the match, and there are really kids crying, you know, and I know because she's already doing, sometimes she already doing million. Then I said, Zehra, come last one, because she's really crying, you know. If I say my daughter crying like this, and I'm the, you know, I would do everything to have this autograph, but it's crazy, you know, and this is nice. And I have to see that it's very difficult for this player to stay humble and working hard. And, who is doing that it stay at the top level. Who start to believe, oh, now I am a star, it will go down with volleyball. So this is also what we try to teach to all these players. I said, okay, hey, but listen that what you have is great, because it's great that you have sponsors, it's great that you have a lot of, the kids are crazy for you. But this depends not because you are beautiful, but because you play very good volleyball. Okay, then if you keep playing very good volleyball, you will still have also this second life. That is great. Why not? I'm super proud to see that. Where is Turkey now? But if you believe that you are a star and you are beautiful and everybody like you and you start to play bad, you will see that everything will collapse. So be strong on your job, because this is why you are a role model. Okay, of course, Ronaldo is good looking, but if he don't make 3 goals every Sunday, people will forget Ronaldo very soon. Doesn't matter, because he's like this. So, and I think that the Turkish player, most of them, they understood this very, very well, and I couldn't see, difference. This is a question that I have from many, Giovanni, how can you coach this player that they have so much sponsors, they have so many million followers? That in my gym didn't change nothing so far. And this doesn't depend from me. It depends from how clever they are, and this is just good for the country. I was talking yesterday on the phone with an Italian journalist, that is crazy because Italy won the gold medal, but nobody cares anymore, nobody cares. He said, here I'm going to market and I just see picture of volleyball player everywhere, and this is what Turkey was great, federation, media, to really create a great excitement around volleyball. And it changed, I can say to you, because of course, Vakibang won the first Champions League and then the second and the club, but we can say that the club, they're working amazing from 15 years, and this, of course, that was the first change, was to see that the Turkish club can win a Champions League. That I don't know the history, but I think volleyball was the first, after come basketball, probably, I'm not sure.
Basketball must be later.
Yeah, first volleyball to win the first Champions League.
I think so, yes.
And after basketball, the first Euro League, can be, So this, of course, means a lot. But that what really changed the love of entire country is the national team. And I discovered this after Tokyo, that after Tokyo, that was our first big Olympic, because I remember my wife, Bar, was in London, so they were already there, but they were there like, they were qualified last moment, also like we did, but they didn't have so many chances, and the volleyball probably there were not the social media like now and so on, so it stays small. But after Tokyo became, big, and after VNL, and national team grow, and everything grows so much, and this, I think, that make this volleyball what it is in Turkey. And I agree with you. From my eyes, there is soccer and there is women volleyball, but I don't follow the statistic of television or spectators and so on, but it's really growing very fast.
And you also get to witness the young girls from actually all parts of Turkey with Yarının Sultanları. So how does this project make you feel? Can you explain it in your own words?
It makes me feel amazing every time I go in this place, and it makes me feel very grateful to have the chance to really live the passion and the love of this kid. I think basically this project born because I have a daughter. We talked at the beginning. Her name is Alison Yat, and she's 8 years old. And of course, when you are a girl and you're born in Istanbul, you don't have nothing less or different than your boyfriend. So the boy that in the same school of Alison and Alison, they have the same opportunities, they have the same option. They do basically the same things, you know, because they're born in Istanbul. But if you go in Idir, you go in, you know, in Bitlis, you go in, you know, in some other part of the country, we know it's not like this, you know, and that's what I see. You know, I go in these schools and I go in this, you know, in this organization, and many of the girls, they don't even have the equipment to make sport because they are not even in an option for a goal to make sport, you know. I believe everything is historical and cultural, so it will change also this. But right now, it's still this big difference. So go there and just inspire this girl, you know, to say, hey, see, come on, you know, you don't have to become Zehra, okay? Okay, but there is one Zehra, and there are millions of players, millions of women that are successful, you know, without playing volleyball. You know, but you are a woman, you can do sport, you can do basically whatever you want. So you like sport, do volleyball, do it, make sport, you know, and just giving the idea that, you know, there is the same opportunity for everybody, you know. So this is the main reason that this project born. So we went last time in Idir, and it was wonderful, I have to tell you, you know, because these girls were so passionate, so in love, you know, and even sometimes it's sad because as soon as the project is finished, they hug you and they say, when you come next, you know, and you don't have an answer, you know, so you come next week, you come, you know, I don't know, you know, I hope to come. But it's very, very nice, you know, and this is, you know, also a way for me to give back to this country, you know, what this country gave to me, because this country gave to me, you know, an amazing wife, an amazing daughter, an amazing family, an amazing city, because I love Istanbul, an amazing club, you know, that with so many success, so an amazing experience with national team. So I want to give back to this country, something I think I cannot do much more in my life except volleyball. So, you know, bringing volleyball, you know, wherever I can, I think the best thing I can do. And I can see now it's a great inspiration.
Thank you for doing that. Like, I don't know, I'm in position to thank, but I mean, still, I was a little girl watching volleyball growing up, like seeing all this success of Vakıfbank, seeing success of the national team. So I can tell you, like in my experience, that it's a really, really great thing to see when you're growing up, like successful women doing sports and like being famous, being successful, and like being strong, being courageous. I guess it's really, really something really big to set an example. So thank you for being a part of that.
Yeah, but this is important. For example, in the academy, okay, that Bar is making, this is the main goal. So in this academy, that I think is great. There are 4-hour days of volleyball. Okay, because of course we are volleyball players. But then there are 2 hours every day, where we bring a famous actor or a famous chef or a famous, you know, mathematician or a famous expert of plants, you know, just to say you don't have to become an Olympic volleyball player. I mean, because 1 every million will do that. But you can be a very successful woman. You can be a great journalist. You can be a great doctor. You can be a great artist. You know, you can do everything you want. You know, this is the message. You know, that's what in this academy for us is so important, that we give much more than volleyball. You know, that was idea of Bar to give much more than volleyball, because this is what we have, because we know very well. I mean, we have in Vakıfbank every weekend 500 small kids, you know, so if this 500, one will become a player of my team, is already an amazing success. So these 499, what they will do? They will cry because they don't become volleyball player? No, because the life, you know, is open for everything. So just, you know, to give the idea to the women that they have exactly same chance, same power, same opportunity, you know, even more, I believe, because for many things women show us every day they are much stronger than men. This is clear.
Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and opinions. It was a pleasure for me to doing this interview, and I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Thank you so much for hosting. It's always a pleasure to be here, Maçlara. Thank you.
Teşekkürler.
Ne demek? Rica ederim.
Kurşun Pası burada noktalıyoruz değerli izleyiciler. Yeniden görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın.